Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video for my OP Rating Dinos series, mini-series, whatever you'd like to call it. Doesn't really matter a whole heck of a lot. But we are on to the Triceratops. Yes, this is an aberrant Triceratops. It's the exact same thing as a regular one. No differences. Now, there are benefits, there are negatives to this guy. Health pool is pretty low on a Triceratops. This is a 1500 spawned in. Health pool is not the greatest, so even this, 238, not the greatest at all in my opinion. Now, he does take heavily reduced damage from the front. He takes about 1/7 of the damage, which basically means you're taking about 15-ish% damage that you would from the side or anything like that. So, that being said, it's one of those tames that is underused and needs to be used a lot more. However, it does have certain scenarios because it can only face things head on. You get shot off by tech, and in general, it's really slow, so there is no way to outrun somebody if they come after you. So, it's kind of like an offline raider, I suppose you might say. So let's go ahead and check out the Plant Species X. Okay, so 18 damage from the front, 18 damage from the side, so it actually doesn't take any reduced damage from the Plant Species X. That's something that should be mentioned because it technically takes all incoming projectile damage, but then must not be considered a projectile. So let's go ahead and move on to the next thing, the auto turret. Now the auto turret, let's go ahead and check it out, kind of stay up high here. From the front hand side, it takes 9 damage. Now one thing, just to let you know, if you go into orbital mode, that is the best way to raid with the Triceratops, because that way he actually stays on a straight line so you don't get shot off the backhand side. Now, just to show you, as soon as I turn any way but in front, I take 65 damage. So, that's a pretty big increase in damage take, so as long as you're facing it, you're good. Which is kind of unfortunate because he does not, look at this, does not back up very quickly. So if you're going to put yourself in turret range, make sure you're well aware of the way out, because you can't turn, because as soon as you turn, he's going to get throttled for damage. Alright, let's move on to the next one here. So there's that. This is the tech turret. Now this is the one you want to be careful with because you can get shot off the back of it. Now as soon as you turn left or right with a tech turret, the splash damage is going to kill you, which is obviously not good. So, from the front, 37 damage. That is a huge difference. That's amazing. 37 damage is a big difference. Now, if he's not taking the reduced damage, let's see how much damage this thing does. Ooh. Alright guys, just like I told you to be careful of, the aberrant Triceratops let me get shot off of it. So what we're going to do is I'm entering into GCM so you can actually see how much damage he takes from anything that's not its head. And you can see right now. So, 250 damage if it's not from the head, which is obviously not good for the health of the player. Or the trike, because you get shot off the back. So, we're going to go ahead and move out of that. I'm going to go ahead and disable. Oh, I have to hop off. That's what I have to do. Oops. There. So, we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, all things being considered, I should probably make it so it's light out, because it's one of those things where if you can't see, that's not good. There, much better. Alright. So, we are on to the heavy. Now, the heavy turret, same thing as everything else. From the front, he takes reduced damage, and you can kind of get a little bit of leeway from what it looks like in order to not get hit. 38 damage from a tech, or non-tech, but a heavy. And then from the side, 256. Not too shabby. So that's a big difference, because 25 versus 38, he's taking about 15% of the damage, which is really nice. So heavies, the Triceratops, and even techs, the Triceratops does incredibly well. It's just one of those things that, you should be aware of. Alright, so this is a 150. Now, base stats, obviously you can see, are not that strong. Its stats, as a matter of fact, are not good at all. It's one of those things that, in my opinion, you should be very careful about, because a lot of people say these things are good raiders, but it doesn't matter if you don't have that good of stats. So, I just added the experience just so you can see. This is a wild one, and its health looks like it might hit 20k. We're going to be close. A little bit more than that. Okay, that's not too bad. So, 25,000 health, not too shabby, but that's max level, which is really hard to achieve on any dinosaur, unless you've got like a Giganotosaurus. So, 25,000 health. It's going to take reduced damage, which is nice, obviously. It's one of those things that we're going to see real quick here. So I'm going to run this thing into the wall of death here. And I have a feeling that I'm going to get shot off the back, but, you know, to each their own. Hopefully I don't. We shall see. And here's the... Okay. So he's doing pretty good. Okay, there's all the turrets. Not too bad. Okay, so he didn't do terribly. I wouldn't say that that was better than the Diplodocus that I've seen because he's got lower health stat. That 90% reduced damage is not bad at all. I mean, he took pretty reduced damage. If you're careful and like slowly bob and weave in and out of those turret range, I think you could actually probably use this guy as a pretty, viable raiding tool. Get out of here. Alright, so the only negative though is that if you're in range, let's go ahead and put this guy's health all the way up. So keep in mind, this one has 238,000 health. Now, I will probably take a couple of screenshots like usual, so sorry for that. There we go. Okay, we're in K mode. Oop, not what I wanted. There, that's what I wanted. Okay, so pretty reduced damage. Let's see how long he actually lasts, because he's lasting longer than the Diplodocus because of that reduced damage. Now let's go and check his stats right now. He's still shredding pretty quickly. That's not bad at all. Okay, so he is being hit by every turret there. Keep that in mind. And that's a lot of turrets. That's 36 turrets, all max ammo, all max everything. And he is soaking them all without too much of an issue, I'd like to add. And if you were to just bob and weave, so now I'm going to slowly back out. Come on. Like that. And now that I'm low on health, I could just pop myself and wait. Now, obviously, you don't have the healing pastes, but you do probably have veggie cakes if you're raiding with this guy. And you wait for him to heal back up, and you go right back in. So let's go ahead and just, like, you know, straight up charge in here. Okay. So, I'm going to hop off the side of him. That is absolutely intense. Oh, he's taken 250 from some. So I'm going to go ahead and back up a little bit, see if we can get him to take non-250s. There we go. So if you get too close, it looks like... Wow, it's like you can't hear anything past him. That's pretty neat. So the trike is doing a really good job soaking right now. Look at that reduced damage. I can't even believe it. Man, he's lasting a long, long, long time. Wow. Okay, so that reduced damage is a big thing. Yep, that thing just got roasted. Okay, so that should be about... It's got to be close, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's not too bad. I mean, he lasted for a really, really long time because of that reduced damage. I mean, he takes about... we're just playing with games. About 15% of the damage that most tames do, or any normal non-armored tame would. So that's pretty awesome. We're bringing out cleanup crew right now to go take care of this mess. And we're going to go ahead and wait to do that. But he does a pretty good job, it looks like. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. That was really, really well done on his part because he soaked quite a bit of ammo. And if you're just ducking back and forth between turret range, you're probably going to be just fine. Which is obviously pretty nice. Alright, well anyways, the Triceratops is pretty high up on the list of raiders. And hope you're enjoying this little mini-series. And if you have any things you'd like to see, make sure to let me know. Alright, Teacher's Game 2, out.